I investigated this from the inside out. I was in a position to have all of the information. A journalist that's trying to pierce that wall of an investigation is going to have a lot of difficulty getting to all the facts. He's not going to have access to everything that an inside investigator is going to, everything in the LAPD I had access to. I had the FBI reports, I had the ATF reports, I had the racketeering reports that would already be done on death row, I had the internal affairs report, the risk management report, the Rampart reports, I had everything from it. He didn't have any of that.
Randall, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question for a second, Dennis? All right. Can we focus on something that you guys actually might sort of agree on? Okay? Believe it or not, there's something you all might believe on, and that was the role of the media in creating all these rumors and myths about what was going on here. And you even mentioned the LA Times and the LA Weekly as like particularly problematic in that regard. Is that right, Randall?
Well, the LA Times certainly was. They had a reporter named Chuck Phillips who essentially collaborated with the LAPD to obstruct the investigation. Of course, that's according to. Of course, that's according to Phil Carson, who was only an FBI agent, but he was the FBI agent who was assigned to investigate the Biggie murder and had all the resources that a federal agent would have.
Not all the resources from the murder, though, because he wasn't with the LAPD.
Well, that's right. He had to go through the LAPD, and he told me an interesting story. He was allowed to look at the Biggie murder book once, just take a quick peruse before he was really officially, and there were a bunch of photographs in it of LAPD cops and somebody that Eugene Deal said was Emirate Muhammad. There were photographs of him in the murder book.
Eugene Deal, by the way, was Biggie's bodyguard. Right, and on the night that he was murdered in L.A.
Puffy's really.
Yeah, Puffy's.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to Eugene Deal. His version of this, Greg, is that...
I know his version. I've heard all of his interviews.
You heard all his interviews. Did you interview him?
No, because by the time when I was involved...
We'll talk about somebody you should have looked up.
Well, excuse me, I'm going to explain why. By the time we got involved in 2006, the lawsuit's already been launched. There's legal issues about interviewing the plaintiff's witnesses. We can't, it's conflict of interest. We had all his prior interviews. I've gotten 7 interviews of Eugene Deal. So we know everything he had to say. But once they're on that list as a witness in the plaintiff's case, we're prohibited from then going and having contact with them. It interferes with the legal process. So no, I didn't interview him.
Well, can we come, because we're running out of time, and I just want to make sure that people know what you guys think. I'm going to start with you right here. Actually, real quick, I'm going to come to you.
Okay.
Who do you think is responsible for Biggie's death?
I don't think I know.
Okay, who is it?
Biggie Smalls was killed by a gang member named Wardell Faust. He was a gang member affiliated with the mob Pyru. He was a hitman. He was known to do shootings. He was already wanted for murder at the time. And he was a suspect in several other murders in Compton related to a bunch of infighting with death row. He was a very close associate with Suge Knight. Suge, after being shot in Las Vegas and losing Tupac, was infuriated, and he hired this gangster to retaliate against Biggie. He had a female associate who was the intermediary, because Suge was in jail at the time that he wanted to get this hit done. He made arrangements for her to get in, where he could have a conversation with her under privileged communications. And he told her, go get a hold of Coochie, find out what he needs, and make it happen. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. I know Coochie was involved in the murder, but I don't think he was the only one. I think that the way that the murder went down, Coochie needed a spotter. Somebody had to have been there to let him know exactly where Biggie was sitting in that car. And so there's some speculation about who it is. We know who was there and who likely have done it, but because we can't prove that, I don't say it publicly. I don't do what he does. I don't make allegations against people based on speculation and nuance.
Really? You guys can't help it. I know.
Because you just can't shit on people like that. You can't take information that's unsubstantiated and baseless and say, hey, Sharita Knight, she was involved in a conspiracy to have her baby's daddy killed. You can't do shit like that to people and put it out there publicly.
Randall, can you tell us what you think happened?
Well, I don't know for sure. Right?
Obviously.
And neither do you, since you got it.
I do know.
No, you got it all from two witnesses who both got deals to avoid prison
Is that right?
Yeah.
You see my investigative files? Did you ever know if there were other people?
I know what you
that were
wrote in your
cooperating?
book, Greg, and you told your story, and I know your story adds up. You had two witnesses, both of whom got deals to come up with this
Your book
story.
is dead wrong.
And let's say something. I have to say this about that task force. That task force was created right after the city of Los Angeles was forced to pay $1 million to the Wallace family when the LAPD was caught hiding evidence that implicated police officers.
Great, I'm
Just let
glad
me
you
finish.
bring that up, because I will clarify.
I want to finish first.
Can-
And so that task force was formed immediately after that judgment was filed. And it wasn't formed because the LAPD wanted to solve the murder. It was formed because they wanted to shut down that lawsuit. And the ultimate evidence of that is like less than a month after the lawsuit was dismissed, the task force was disbanded. This detective who says he knows who did it was, assigned to solve the murder, but no arrest is ever made, and no charges were ever brought. And the task force was disbanded, and the whole thing was swept under the rug once the
Do
lawsuit
you
was
find it
gone.
unusual that a police department who's being sued and then allegations being lodged against them, that they would form a task force? Don't you think that's a normal thing to do?
I find it odd that they would only form the task force after a judge caught them hiding evidence and fined them $1 million.
So you're aware of what took place in that. So let me tell you what happened. There was a detective named Steve Katz who had interviewed a guy named Kenneth Bologna, who was a jailhouse informant. And he had a tape that was found in his desk that wasn't turned over to Discovery. And so the Wallace attorneys made this big deal, like, look at, man, they're hiding evidence. They've got a guy who's saying that he knows who was involved in these murders, and they're hiding evidence. So the judge says, well, this is unacceptable. I'm going to have a sanction of $1.1 million against the city and declare a mistrial. The next time they go back to court, the LAPD's attorneys prove that that discovery was in fact turned over. And the judge was so pissed off that the Wallace attorneys had gone in there and lied. She got in, Perry Sanders, she ripped him a new asshole, saying, what the fuck have you done? You came in here and testified in front of me that you didn't have this information, and they've just proven that you had that information prior to you coming in here. And I've issued a sanction, so now you have no choice but to take to the Ninth Circuit.
Okay, I will let you get that, then we're gonna move on. Okay.
Well, I mean, just, that did happen, and then the judge got informed that she was wrong about that. She apologized to Perry Sanders publicly.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. She issued an order that was essentially a public apology for believing the bullshit that was sold to her by the city attorney and the LAPD. Something big is coming. I can't tell you what it is, but it is coming, and it will happen no later than September. And it is coming.
So read my book.
Well, so you actually just wait for it to happen.
Here's the reality of it. No, nothing's gonna happen. The shooters are dead, the co-conspirators are dead. This will never, ever see a courtroom. Judicial justice will never occur in this case. It sucks, but that's the reality of the situation.
I don't know that a criminal case will ever be brought, maybe. But I do know that, the one FBI agent who investigated the case believed Russell Poole's story, took it to the U.S. attorney. The U.S. attorney, which is always obligated to either take a case and prosecute it or deliver a letter, they call it a letter of declination, saying this is why we won't prosecute it. For the only time anyone has ever heard of in the history of the U.S. attorney-FBI relationship, they refused to give a letter of declination. They just wouldn't do it. Then the LAPD shows up and says, look, you can't let this FBI, you've got to shut this FBI agent down. If he testifies in court, we're going to lose $600 million.
Does that sound like what happens? Does the LAPD go and tell the FBI what to do?
Well, okay,
Is that the way it happens? Do we say, you guys can't do your jobs?
No, what the LAPD says is, look, we are all very closely wound together. We have all these projects together. I'll actually quote you what the LAPD representative said at the meeting, according not just Phil, but another FBI agent was sitting next to him.
I'm
they
at
lucky
this
I
point, I'm
can't
gonna have
say
to
that.
call a timeout because we've run past our segment. We went a little long here. I think the thing that we can all agree on is that Vanilla Wallace has been denied whatever you think justice.
That is true.
Is that fair?
It hasn't been enough yet.
Right.
I don't think.
Okay, well, I'm glad we could reach an agreement. Because I know that this was like not easy, it was contentious, you guys, both have these varying theories, and I think that reasonable people can disagree on and come to these conclusions here, but I thank you very much for at least giving us an airing, okay? Seriously. And, we're gonna have to move on to the next segment here, but Randall, Greg, thank you very much for coming. I hope that, I hope you all find this.
Thank you all very much for putting up with that. I would, but listen, if anybody actually has questions, anything at all regarding this, I'll stick around all night. I'll show you all the documentation. I'll show you everything. Any questions, nothing stops limit. I'm happy to overtime. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.